All right, Mr. Karl.
What's going on,
You're in
W?
the Bay.
I'm back, man.
All right, so I want to start doing these videos, and Karl will be the first guest here of interviewing other people in the trades other than me. I know I'm the best, but you guys should get other advice and stuff from other people.
Close to the best.
Close to the
There's
best.
one. There's one that's above him.
God,
That's me.
All right, so Karl is a little bit different because he does. He likes plumbing. Okay, he's a GC also, but he likes plumbing. So we're going to talk a lot about plumbing here, why you became a plumber and stuff. So I guess first off would be, and I think I kind of know the answer. When was the first time that you really took an interest in plumbing? And you're like, yeah.
So the first time was when we were working for Michael, in San Francisco on Susan's project. Okay. And I'll give a little background. Try not to go too much into it because it is a long story. Yeah. But we were combining these two apartments for this really rich lady in San Francisco. She had this building that she inherited from her husband, who I think died or they divorced or whatever. And she had two apartments on the same floor that she was basically, turning into one unit, through the hallway, tearing down some walls, making one really nice, luxury apartment building in SF in the building she owned. So we were working for Michael, who was the GC. There was a lot of plumbing to do because I think this one was the second story of the building.
Yeah. And we had a third story up above, I think, right?
I think there was one. There was one more, wasn't it? A four-story building.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So there's two above, and there was all this plumbing coming down through the walls.
Yeah.
All these, divider kitchen walls, exterior walls, all this softening. There was, cast iron coming down, drains from above, vents going up. There was gas, there was water, electric too.
And she wanted crazy stuff too.
Yeah.
So we're talking about bringing water to crazy parts of the apartment and shit,
The thing was that the main thing that made that job really complicated was that she wanted super high-end finishes. She wanted almost no soffits throughout the whole place.
Correct.
And, there's a lot of shit we had to put in. So we had to repipe everything and put everything up in the ceiling joists, in the walls. We convinced her in a few spots to do,
some type of soffit.
Do some soffits, drop the ceiling in a couple little spots just to give us a little extra space. And this whole job was unpermitted.
Yeah, I know. And there was no floor
permits.
plan. The floor plan was changing every week.
The floor plan was changing every week. Yeah. It was always different. She wanted all this wild shit. But Michael needed a good plumber. He was asking around. My dad recommended Rob.
Yeah.
And Rob came on the job and started working. And Michael basically said, "You're just going to be Rob's helper." Yeah. I was 18. I think I was 18.
Yeah, I think you were 18. Yeah. Something. I think I was 19. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I must have been 18 because this was November 2014.
Yeah.
So I was Rob's helper. And I don't know what it was. Whatever, something clicked. I just liked plumbing. And it was a good first job because we had a lot of work. We had all these water lines to reroute. It was all copper. We had all this cast iron to do. A lot of it we replaced with cast iron.
Yeah.
To follow the code, keep the any drainage silent.
And this is all in San Francisco, just for context. So very high strict code and everything like that. Yeah,
exactly. So that was my first plumbing job. I think the reason I liked it was partially mechanical. You're doing plumbing's kind of a mechanical trade.
Yeah.
A little bit. I still like this. I like the aspect of plumbing where there's a time limit. There's a clock ticking. A lot of times you got to get the water back on.
Yeah.
Or you've got this building, you've got the drain cut, and you've got to get the drain put back together by.
Yeah, you got to get it in that day. I mean, people got to shit. Yeah, exactly.
Whatever your time limit is. I enjoy that because it makes the day go by quicker.
Yeah.
You've got a little bit of pressure on you.
I gotcha.
And then, Rob also, I also got to give a lot of credit to Rob because he was a fantastic teacher.
Yeah.
The guy is as smart as a tack. When I was working for him at that point in time, he was probably late 50s.
Yeah.
And he was kind of starting to get close to
pretty much start retiring. Yeah.
Yeah. He was basically starting to work part-time.
Yeah.
But I was a young dude, a lot of energy, and it was a good combo because he had a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and then I supplied like a lot of the
labor.
Labor
Exactly.
Energy to get shit done.
Yeah.
And then I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then after that, kind of talk to your experience. I mean, because you and I are like definitely freelancers before we were licensed and stuff like that. So talk about a little bit about plumbing after Rob was gone, and you're kind of somewhat on your own. You know what I mean? But not licensed yet, essentially.
So I moved to San Diego, and I was working for this guy, doing a lot. Rob had a lot of additions, remodels. We did a lot of the stuff when you were working for
bathrooms. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like big apartment jobs.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a lot of like service experience with Rob.
Yeah.
It was a lot of like
just remodel construction.
Yeah. A lot of remodel construction.
Yeah.
Repipes, remodels, that kind of stuff. So when I moved to San Diego, I was working for this guy, Pierre, and he had a lot of
Pierre.
Yeah, this guy was a bit of a shyster. A bit of a shyster.
You hear that, Pierre?
Fucking, you're a shyster. He knows he's a shyster. He's not a bad guy, but a bit of a shyster. He had a lot of service stuff. It was a lot of like Airbnbs, apartments.
Okay.
So that's when I started doing service stuff. And at this point, I worked for Rob for like 4 or 5 years, maybe. And so at this point, I'm like maybe early 20s, like 23, 24. I think I got my license around 24.
Yeah.
And so
you got yours pretty much the same as me.
Yeah, right around.
And I was 24. Yeah.
So I was probably 23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a year younger than me. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was working for Pierre, and then that's when I started doing like a lot of side jobs. Like sometimes people would hit me up, hey, can you do this? Da da da. I'd go do it. And then me and him kind of had a falling out. He I don't know, dude. He tried to jit me or something like that.
No, I kind of remember that. Yeah.
I forget exactly how it went down, but and I had cheap rent. I had my truck, so I just put up a Craigslist ad, and I just started doing like plumbing side work.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I need to get my license. So I applied for my general contractor's license.
Yeah.
And then I got that. So I don't know. It wasn't too exciting. I mean, I just applied.
You just worked your ass off until you had the work experience.
Had the work experience.
Yeah.
Took the test and, just studied and passed the test. And then, yeah.
So what would you say is the big defining difference of like being licensed and being unlicensed? Where do you see that? Because again, before you're licensed, you don't have as much liability, all this shit. So like, how do you see it change as you've grown?
Yeah. So, unlicensed, you're obviously doing a lot smaller jobs.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be in the
$500 or something. Yeah.
Which I stuck religiously to.
Yeah.
CSLB.
We don't go over that.
I never went over the $500 limit.
That's true.
I stuck to the letter of the law. Only small jobs. And did that, and I will say, you have less liability. Like if something happens, if you've hired,
they don't have a license number to complain to or lien or anything.
If you've hired an unlicensed guy, you as the homeowner assume a lot of risk.
Correct.
Of like, hey, if a pipe bursts or something like that, I can't really go after the guy. He doesn't have an insurance policy. Yeah. Nothing like that, But you, as the guy doing the work, you also have a lot less protection. You don't have no ability to like lien the guy.
Correct.
I never have gone to court with anybody, but if you sue somebody, if you're unlicensed, the judge is going to throw it out if it's over $500.
Correct.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You can't pull a permit.
That actually might. If you sue somebody, that actually might go the other way. And the CSLB might knock you with being unlicensed. Yeah. They might send you a notice later, It's
very possible.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you have that to contend with. And then as a licensed guy, you have a lot more. In my book, in my opinion, you have way more pressure on you.
Yeah.
As a licensed guy, because I have an insurance policy. I have my license. I don't want to lose my license, obviously. Correct. Like, it's tough to lose your license, but it could happen.
Yeah.
Something really bad. Something really wrong happens.
Yeah. Yeah, say you do one big track house and everything gets fucked. I mean, that possibly depends how bad it is. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, and then you can, now I can hire people. I can advertise. I can advertise my services more professionally, I would say. And I've just, as the years have gone by, I've tried to get more and more professional. Now I have t-shirts, I have signs for my van.
Yeah.
I have, I still haven't really done any advertising, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, I just every year I try to upgrade and make things more professional, make it a more professional outfit, if that makes sense.
And two, with the more risk, I mean, you get to charge more too, essentially.
You get to charge more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're taking on more responsibility.
You're paid more for your knowledge now as a licensed guy.
Yeah. And I've gotten better every year, if I look back 4 years ago, I'm definitely a better plumber than I am now.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, 100%.
I think so. Every year I try to get better, try to learn more stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. That pretty much kind of covers all of Karl's life. So I guess the last thing would be, say there's a young kid, 17 to 21, whatever. He wants to do plumbing and he just asked you, hey, how do I get into plumbing, whatever. What advice would you give him? Like, just go work for a plumbing company or what?
Yeah, I'd say
the end goal for them is to become a licensed plumber. Where should they start? How should their path go?
I'd say you need to think early. In my book, there's 2 ways to do plumbing.
Okay.
One is work for a plumber. You obviously got to work for a licensed plumber.
Yeah, of course.
If your goal is to start your own business, it makes sense in my opinion, it makes a little more sense to not be in the union.
Okay.
And to work more for a private company, what is the non-union shop, whatever.
Yeah.
Because you don't, if you spend like 10 years in the union before you start your own thing, you've got all of this like incentive, like, oh, there's my pension, I have all my benefits.
You get stuck there in a way.
Stuck there. Yeah, exactly. So I say spend a little time thinking about it. Like, do I want to be a business owner? If the answer is no, it does make a lot of sense to go work in the union.
Yeah.
Because they have great pay. You're usually going to have a good teacher.
And you're going to have steady benefits. Work. I mean, sometimes there's furloughs and stuff, but in all honesty, especially in the Bay here in California, the union's always got work.
They're going to have work.
Yeah.
They're going to have work. And most private shops aren't going to match the pay of a union shop.
Correct.
The union pays really well and the benefits are great. If your goal is more to start your own business, I would say it makes a little sense to stay non-union and go work for a few different people. If you find a great guy to work for him, but go do side work. Don't be afraid to like branch out.
Yeah.
Go work for another company for a little bit, do some side work.
Or even take 2 jobs, whatever.
Take 2 jobs. Learn stuff because everybody has something else to teach you. And also don't be afraid to go try your hand at some other trades.
Yeah.
So then that way a little bit about the entire construction process.
Yeah. Would you talk kind of about your condo job, because you got a lot of different trades involved in that other than just plumbing?
Yeah. So me and my partner Roger,
and why it helps you to know those trades essentially is what I should say. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's just so okay. So I would to back up. I would say one of the things that was really cool is that I was a super for a construction company for about a year.
Yeah.
And I helped them do like full projects. We did ground up ADUs. I managed like 2 of those, did other various remodels, this big door project that you were on.
Yeah.
A lot of different stuff. Knowing the entire construction process as opposed to one trade, you don't even necessarily need to know the details of each process, but knowing the way, the order.
Just the timeline.
Yeah. Timeline, the order, being able to do some of the other trades as well is a huge help because let's say you're only doing plumbing or you're only doing electrical, you're going to be a better plumber because okay, if I do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to make the job easier for the guy that comes after me.
Yeah.
Or I can contribute this to the framer so that he knows not to put a freaking 2x4 where my shower valve's got to go, whatever.
Yeah.
there's ways that are going to make you more valuable to the project, and then you can charge more, you know, or a contractor's going to want to have you there on the project because, this guy, whenever this guy shows up, he's doing his job so well that it's not making a problem for my electrician or my sheetrocker, whatever, whatever the case is. I'm speaking
because you know how electricians or whatever are, they get, could you take out this block or this plumber or whatever, or even steel guys, dude. It's like, just take a fucking Sawzall the thing, just do it real quick. But it's like, no, they're like, no, the carpenter's got to come. And
bring another trade in.
Yeah.
If you know a little bit about other stuff, you're more valuable to the project as a whole.
Yeah.
So that's why it makes a lot of sense to go and go do some framing for a little bit.
Yeah.
Go do a little drywall. Try your hand at some drywall patches. Go work for a guy and do some drywall.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of experience, and it just helps you as well because, like in life, if you know multiple trades and you can do a small remodel on your own.
Yeah.
You're gonna make more money. Or as another great example, if you can do a decent drywall patch and you're a plumber, like let's say you mess up and you got to open up a wall somewhere in a closet or something like that, and it's on you, and you've made a mistake. You can save yourself a lot of money if you can go in.
Yeah, you don't have to pay a drywall guy.
You don't have to pay the drywaller. Yeah, if you can do a basic drywall patch and it can look pretty good. I'm not talking an entire house.
Yeah.
But you can save yourself money and go in and do a drywall patch. You know, so that's a huge advantage to doing other stuff. Well, I forget what the even original question was.
Well, just the path to getting licensed if they want to open their business. I mean, you pretty much answered it pretty good. It's like either if you don't want to open your own business, you probably go union.
Yeah.
And if you do, you stay non-union, get your work requirements, take your test, and get on to building your business.
And go get a license.
Yeah, exactly. Get your license. So I think that answers everything.
And it's different timelines for everybody. Like one guy might like really hustle and be like, okay, I'm gonna get my license as soon as I can.
Yeah, in 4 years, right away. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
And then some guys might take their time. Yeah. And hey, I'm gonna do 10 years, and by the time I'm 30, I'm gonna get my license and go open up my own thing. You know what I mean? And that's fine. Everyone's got their own. Yeah. You're a little more aggressive than me. You know?
No, exactly. I always have been though. I mean, I tell everybody all the time. I tried before being a contractor, I tried to be a cop, and then I realized, oh shit, I'm not being a cop. Fuck that.
Yeah.
But I figured that out at 15. And then right after that, I knew I was going to be a contractor. So I know I'm a little bit different. But okay, one thing before we end this and everything, I think we've hit everything, but one thing I want to know, what do you see as the future of plumbing? Do you think there's going to be still a lot of demand going on?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it's going to get more efficient? Like the tools are getting better? Like where do you see you and your plumbing business in 5 or 10 years? You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So number one, I do not see a drop in demand.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I will say is that now it does seem like the going to college trend is starting to slightly reverse. I don't even know if it's going to make a meaningful difference, but I do think that the Gen Z is starting to gravitate a little bit more towards the trades.
Yeah.
But I still think there's a massive labor shortage. That's probably like a huge
well, there has been since we were kids. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I don't see it getting much better.
Yeah.
Anytime in the near future.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to keep continuing. You know what I mean? It might reverse slightly, but like if we're at like a 40% labor deficit, it might go to like a 30% labor deficit.
But the thing is, we're at a point too where it's actually detrimental to us that we don't have enough guys, because I could hire 6 guys right now.
Right. Yeah.
And you could hire a bunch of guys, but nobody's qualified.
It's tough to find qualified guys.
So even if the labor catches up, well, we could actually use them. You know what I mean? So it's like
and then here's the thing. So like there's another thing too with you could be really good at the trade. Right. I see this all the time.
Yeah.
You can be really good. You can be the best plumber in the whole city.
Yeah.
But if you have no like people skills or like even basic like office skills.
Yeah. If you can't send an invoice or something,
you can't send an invoice, if you can't talk to the customer, you're just not as valuable in a running your own business situation. You know what I mean? Like,
well, we've seen it many times too. People are on the social side and they suck as a contractor.
Right.
And we're going, how the hell do these guys get these jobs?
Those guys do better than the guy who's better at the trade.
Because they're just good people.
They're good at people skills.
Yeah.
if you can have a little bit of both, if you can be a good at your trade and a good people person and have a little bit of sales ability. And I'm not talking like be some sleazy scumbag salesman, but
exactly.
Just be able to talk to the person and be like, hey, this is
everybody has a
house.
nice time having a meeting with you.
Yeah.
At least. Exactly.
Yeah. This is what's going on in your house. This is what I think we should do. You got option A, B, C. You're going to do really well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a fantastic skill to have. And then a little bit of paperwork, office skill goes a long way too. Like, hey, I can type an email. There's no spell errors in the email. It's coherent.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I can run a basic freaking Excel spreadsheet, nothing insane, but I can, just do basic stuff like that. That's going to help you so much. It's going to go such a long way. As a business owner, especially, it's going to, or even the people skills, especially, even if you're like a foreman for a company, if you can go into someone's house, you can act professionally, not swear, tell them what their problem is, explain the solution. You're going to go so far. Companies are going to want to keep you busy and they're going to pay you really well to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. If you're a young guy listening to this, don't just put yourself in one box. I'm going to be a fantastic plumber, electrician, whatever. Try to branch out a little bit and improve your soft skills as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wyatt didn't ask me about this, but I did go to 4-year. I went to a 4-year college.
Talk about it, dude. Yeah. Go for it.
So when I was working,
international businessman.
Yeah.
By the way, you need a bachelor's in international business to be a plumber, just so you know.
It's requirement. New state requirement. Yeah. So when I got out of high school, I didn't go to college for a year. I started working.
Yeah.
I was working for Michael, then Rob.
Yep.
And then I went to community college part-time. So it took me
SD though, right? San Diego.
Well, I started at
that's right.
JC.
That's right. Yeah.
So community college, I went twice a week.
Yep.
And I was working 3-4 days a week. I do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday work, Saturday work, and then like Tuesday, Thursday go to school.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I just basically, there was multiple times I wanted to quit, but I just
quit plumbing or quit school.
No, I never wanted to quit plumbing.
Oh, okay.
There was multiple times I wanted to quit school.
Yeah.
Like, this is a waste of time.
Especially because I dropped out of community college. So once I dropped out, there was no buddies telling him to stick around. You know what I mean?
Dude, no. The only people that my girlfriend told me to stick with it, and then my dad was like, you should stick with it.
Yeah. So
then I eventually finished all my community college credits, and I was kind of just like, I just want to be done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. My parents both told me to stick with it and finish. I applied. I got into UC San Diego. Yeah. They helped me out with the tuition, so I didn't have to pay all the tuition. Some of it came out of my pocket, but my dad helped me. My mom helped me out a little bit, and then my dad's best friend Russ gave me some money too. Yeah. So I got some of my tuition covered. I paid for some of it, and
I remember those days, dude. I remember talking to you about that. Yeah. Yeah. Just making sure tuition was covered and fucking all that. Yeah.
So for me, I didn't have to take a loan out, but I also was working the whole time.
Correct.
And I pretty much stuck with going 2 to 3 times a week, and I was still working. So I was working, going to school. And if I was going to tell someone as a young guy who wants to start a business, I would say the community college thing was super helpful. I don't think the 4-year thing was very helpful, because the community college thing, I think you get a lot of the people skills, you get a lot of the writing skills, and you can take classes for like accounting, you take classes for spreadsheets, Excel classes.
And remember, guys, you can go to community college at 50 years old.
Yeah. Right.
So if your business is expanding or whatever, go take an accounting class and shit. Like, I've been thinking about it too. But it is funny. I don't knock my community college experience either, because I did learn a lot of shit, not necessarily anything like money making wise, but definitely people skills and all that shit. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there's nothing life changing, but like you can do night classes.
Yeah,
you can do 1 day a week. Yeah, in the afternoon, something like that. And you can. The nice thing about community college is you can pick. All right, I'm lacking on my freaking accounting skills.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to take an accounting class.
Yeah.
If you go to 4-year college, they force you to take
certain classes.
They force you to take a bunch of bullshit that you don't need.
Yeah.
So my advice would be
Roman transvestite history.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they made me take a fucking like black history class.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, I'm trying to open a plumbing company.
I'm trying to learn business. Like, this is not helping me to know the Congolese history. You know what I mean? So,
well, it does if you're going to be a colonist and go over there and, start plumbing there, right?
Yeah,
So
I guess. Do they need plumbing? I don't know. I've never stayed in San Francisco.
We'll let them deal with that.
Yeah. So I'd say to a young guy, do some community college.
Yeah.
And learn some of those soft skills.
Yeah.
That are going to help you. I wouldn't, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't go to the 4-year again.
Yeah.
I think that was
But you would have stuck with community or something like that.
I would have done the community college.
Associates or whatever.
Get your associates. That's going to help you out. And then if you ever really, really, really want to, you can go back and get your bachelor's if you really want to.
Yeah, exactly.
But learn your trades.
Make some money first before you go for the degree.
Yeah, make some money, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got time when you're young. Like, go make money. Go get those experiences. The 4-year isn't. Yeah, if you're in the trades, I don't think you need it. For me, it was a little bit of a waste, but the reason I went is because I had that parental support, especially if you're going to take loans out.
Yeah, then it's a liability.
It's a waste, dude. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of my experience.
This is a good conversation. I'm glad this went this way and everything. And
you got any other questions? I mean,
no, dude. I think that pretty much kind of sums everything up. I just wanted to. Again, we're kind of younger guys, so it's like I want people to see this. Like a lot of videos on people explaining on how they got there or whatever. It's when they're 50. It's when they're rich already. It's when, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's like it's not worth as much. But I think talking, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start doing interviews with more tradespeople, hopefully younger guys. I mean, dude, honestly, we're the future, unfortunately. Everybody's retiring here, so it's
and there's a big gap too. Like all the boomers are gone now, pretty much. I mean, the youngest boomers are now like 64, 65.
I know,
right?
I know.
So they're pretty much all out, or they're going to be out in 5 years.
Yeah,
and then it's just going.
I know, dude. The plumber at that Lucas Valley job, he is coming up into 70. His daughter and his brother-in-law are working for him, and it's like. Once that guy goes, if the daughter and brother-in-law don't keep it together or whatever, that business is gone.
Yeah, he's going to be gone. All his knowledge is gone.
All that knowledge gone.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing I'd like to talk about, in plumbing at least, there's definitely like a difference in, there's kind of 3 kinds of plumbing you can do.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm going to forget something, but you could do like service residential plumbing. Mm-hmm. That's more what I stick in. You can do new construction. Either if it's new houses,
remodels, whatever. Yeah.
And then you can do, city works stuff. I don't have a lot of experience with like public works.
Yeah.
I have a lot of experience with service plumbing and then like new construction. I've done houses.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to call my buddy Franco. Hopefully Franco will be like the next interview or something, but Franco does public works plumbing and stuff, water mains, sewer mains down in San Mateo and stuff. So he would be a good guy to talk to about that side.
To have on. I mean? Yeah.
That's definitely a different freaking realm.
It's a different world.
What Carl's in. It's totally different world. That union, that's where the union plumbing comes in, is those bigger projects and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. My main thing is I'm going in a house. I'm going in someone's house.
We're artists, just so you know.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have a little bit of, prestige. So,
No.
We're not working on your street.
No. I'm in the house, dude. I'm inside the house.
I'm in the $2 million house.
Yeah.
The $2.5 million
$2 million,
house.
That's low.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I know. That's a fucking middle class home.
in San Diego, yeah. But yeah, so I'm in the service. I'm mostly in service. So I'm going to someone's house, someone's condo.
Yep.
And it's a different ball game.
I just want to outro it.
No, let's outro it.
Okay. Well, the SD card died a little bit, so that means we were talking a fuck ton. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Carl, for being the first interview.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on, dude.
Yeah.
And then if you want to follow me on
plug away.
Plugging my shit, dude.
Yeah.
My Instagram is KB Construction on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm in San Diego. I do mostly residential plumbing, and Yeah.
Hopefully he'll start doing some YouTube videos soon or some shit.
Yeah. We'll keep you posted. If I do something, Wyatt will shout me out.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
All right, dude.
Thank
you very much.
Yeah, good talking to you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.